I really like Apple products. I've got an iPhone, I've got an iPad, I've got an Apple Watch, I've got a Mac, sort of. And since smart home technology has exploded, I've always wanted to try some smart bulbs or smart plugs. But then Apple HomeKit devices are really expensive, and I didn't want to change my ecosystem and buy a Alexa or Google Home device. So here's why this video. Today I'm gonna show you how to control non-HomeKit devices with Siri. So let's start. First thing you'll need is of course a smart object. In my case I've bought the cheapest one I could find, a LE Smart RGB bulb, as you can see, and a Tekin smart plug. Please focus. Okay, here it is. But the brand really doesn't matter as long as it is compatible with ifTTT, and if you don't know what ifTTT is, don't worry, we'll talk about that later. You now have your smart device, and thanks to the instructions you manage to connect it with its app. In my case both the bulb and the plug uses this app called Smart Life, but it doesn't matter, because to connect it with Siri you'll have to download two more apps: ifTTT and Shortcuts by Apple, which are the last two apps in my dock. Once the download is completed, we have to open ifTTT and create an account, so that we can create our applets. Applets are nothing but if-else commands, which runs between many apps and services thanks to ifTTT. So we can now go to my applets, the last tab, and using this plus on the top right corner, we can create a new applet. As this, we have to add a webhook, so we type webhook and here it is. And now we have to choose a name for our webhook. We select receive a web request, and as the event name I suggest you to choose quite a simple name like light hyphen on and create our trigger. We now have to look for the service which connects to our smart devices. In my case it's Smart Life, so here it is, I select it. And as we want with this applet to turn our light on, I select turn on. And then I select my device, which is desk light. Create action. Okay, here we are. Our applets is almost done, so we click to finish and we are good to go. ifTTT created our applet, and the last thing we have to do in this app is go to Discover and search for webhook again, webhooks, and search it in services, so webhooks. You now have to really be careful, so we select documentation and we have to copy the first link, but don't share this link with anyone else because this link is connected with your account, so through this link you can activate applets from every browser without having to type your username and password, so don't share it with strangers. Okay, we copy and then click None, and then we can go to Shortcuts by Apple. This app is pretty similar to ifTTT, but you can create much more complex if-else structures, but sadly you can use slightly less apps and services. Anyway, we create a new shortcut. We have to type URL. We select this and we can paste our URL, our link that we copied before. And where it says event, which is between trigger and with, we have to type the name we chose before. In my case, it was light hyphen on, and we are done. Okay, we can now add another block. We type URL again and we get contents of URL. We now have to ensure that the method is get, and we are now like good to go. We can then customize our shortcut. We can choose a symbol, an icon, a color, wherever you want, and of course add it to Siri. So we add it to Siri. You can now record your key phrase, which we will use it later to activate the command. We can now check that everything works, so turn on desk light. And
okay.
Yes, it works. To turn it off, you have to do the entire process again, and the final result should be like turn off desk light.
Okay.
and of course it works. You can also control the color of the light through Siri, but to do that you'll have to create a quite more complex shortcut. Anyway, I've linked it in the description, so go check it out. It works through an input, which in our case is the color, and it put that in the URL that we've done. In if ttt you have to give the applet the exact color that you want the light to turn on. So let me show you. Change desk light color. Purple. And it should now turn purple. And as you can see, it worked. You can do it with pretty much any color, and what else? This video ends here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do, and please consider subscribing, because it is really hard for me to make this kind of videos because English isn't my main language, but I like it a lot. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's see you later.